So Alana received a stamp collection from her grandmother. The collection is a leather-bound book and currently has 120 stamps. Alana joined a stamp club which sends her 12 new stamps each month. The stamp book holds a maximum of 500 stamps. So first of all, complete the table at the right. And you can see I've done that below here. So I started out at 0 stamps at the very beginning, 120. When I add 12, I get 132. Add 12 to that, you're at 144. Add 12, 156. Add 12, 168. And finally, for month 5, you add the 12 to the 168, you get 180. So that's the table that they gave me. Question B says, how many stamps will she have 1 year from now? I actually chose to answer that question after C because answering C will make it a lot easier to answer the question, how many will she have a year from now? So on C, it says write an equation using function notation to represent the total number of stamps in the stamp collection. After n months, let the total be represented by t of n. So you can see I've written t of n equals 12n plus 120, and the reason why I used 120 is, remember, at month 0 she's starting with 120. So this is not a sequence, right? These aren't term numbers. This is after no months she had 120 stamps. So that is the y-intercept. So you can see that that number shows up right there, plus 120. And the fact that I'm adding 12 additional stamps each time, right? My constant increase by addition is shows up in the fact that it's 12n. So if I let n be 12, now I'm going to go back and solve for b. If I let n be 12 and I substitute that in, I get that there would be 12 times 12 plus 120, which ends up being 164 stamps. So at the end of a year, she would have 164 stamps. This last question says, solve your equation from part C for n when t of n is 500. That means we have a total of 500 stamps. Will Lona be able to fill her book exactly with no stamps remaining? How do you know? And when will the book be filled? So first of all, I went ahead and I took t of n, and I set t of n equal to 500. You can see that I replaced this t of n with the number 500, and then just wrote the rest of my function, right? 12n plus 120. From that, I subtracted 120 from both sides. When I take away the 120 from both sides, it gave me 380 equals 12n. And then I divided both sides by 12. When I did that, I ended up with n was 31 2/3. So here's the thing. First of all, it's going to take her 32 months to get enough stamps to fill the book. But at that point, she's going to have leftover stamps, right? Because she's almost got enough stamps after 31 2/3 months. At 31 2/3 months, she has enough stamps, but you don't get 2/3 of a month. So she has to jump to the 32nd month. So she will need 32 months of stamps to fill the book, but she will have some of the last 12 stamps left over, so she's going to end up with some extras. And there was one other question. What else did it say? When will the book be filled? Okay, the book will be filled after 32 months. So it'll take 32 months, and she'll have some extra stamps left over at that point.